Not getting any likes on Hinge? Want to get noticed by the women you're really excited about? Stay tuned and I'm going to give you the top Hinge dating app tips for guys who want more dates with women they're really excited about. If you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you get notified every time I release a new dating advice video for men who want to go on more dates with women they're really excited about. I'm Emily, founder of emlovz.com, and whenever I have a new client working with me, they always say, you know what, I hate the dating apps, I don't want to use them because I never get any matches with the women I'm really interested in. I get it, but that's why I created this video, so that you can improve your results on Hinge specifically, so that you can get more dates with the women you're super stoked about. Engage them with a comment. So, back a little while ago, my team and I did an experiment where we created multiple Hinge accounts and we wanted to see how many people would like or comment on a photo or a prompt response on Hinge. And we found that 70% of men never even commented. They just send the heart or the like on Hinge. So of the 30% that did comment, only 5 to 10% of them said something clever or witty. As you can imagine, the more effort you put in, the more results you have, especially if you have a formula that is guaranteed to be successful. But one of the ways that you can improve your results on Hinge is by not just doing the thing that every other guy is doing and hearting the photo of her looking hot, but actually liking something that she has to say and adding a comment that adds value to her life. So it might add value because it makes her laugh. It might add value because it's a piece of information about a topic she cares about that maybe she didn't know. Something like, hey, did you know that Starbucks has a super secret menu if she says she loves coffee? Or if she says she loves dogs. Did you know that dogs can be trained to smell cancer? Something like adding value or being interesting is gonna help you to stand out from all those other guys who are just hearting the photo of the hot chick. Guys, we have like 1 million people who try to get in front of us on a dating app. You need to stand out from your competition. Make sure that you leave her a comment on something that she says and make sure that comment adds value. Improve your Hinge answers. So Hinge doesn't give you a ton of space to put your life story. There's no self-summary section. It's just prompt responses. But you really want to be strategic with the prompt responses that you select. You want to give her information that is specific and polarizing. Your goal when you create a really exceptional dating profile is not to be like every other guy on the app. We want to think about what differentiates us from these other people we're competing against. So you want to find a prompt response that's going to give her information about you that is very unique. Look for prompt responses that tell her information about your favorites, information about your hobbies, something that you like to do that is different from every other guy. You don't want to just use the prompt response hiking or mountains because my God, it's not polarizing at all. It's the easiest thing to answer, and the less work you put in, the less results you're going to get. So find prompt responses where you can actually talk about your favorite foods, your favorite books, your favorite musician, your bucket list travel destinations. Get super duper specific. That will also help you attract women who are very, very compatible with you, because when you use really specific keywords on your profile, the apps will match you with people who are using those same keywords on their profile. It's kind of like when you Google something on Google. Let's say you're Googling white sneakers. When you Google white sneakers, you don't want like red potatoes to show up. You want it to be relevant. And so the dating apps work in a very same way. Part of it is about keyword matching. So the more specific your keywords, if you say, for example, my favorite book is The Giver. Now, chances of you matching with someone who also has that keyword on their profile is very high. And guess how much other stuff that you're gonna have in common if you both share that very favorite book in common and you've both decided to write it on your profile. That's gonna help you stand out. It's also gonna help you separate yourself from all the other dudes who are like, I like Netflix and I like hiking. All right, so does everybody. What sets you apart from other people? Really think about what's gonna polarize your audience, so the people that would not be a fit for you swipe left, and the people that are super, super into you and are very similar to you swipe right. Are your photos standing out? You gotta have competitive photos these days. And if you don't know if your photos are competitive, you need to use a tool called photofeeler.com. PhotoFeeler allows you to test your photos with real people in the age range that you're looking to date, and they measure your photo based on whether you look attractive, trustworthy, or smart. All three components that go into determining whether a woman would actually go on a date with you. If your photos are grainy, if you're not smiling, if you're wearing sunglasses, if they're 10 years old, all of these things are going to contribute to your outcomes, and it's gonna make it a lot harder for you to get the matches that you want. So you wanna make really sure that your photos are on point, and you wanna make sure that you have the 6 photo archetypes you need in order to be competitive. So I would recommend getting professional photos taken with a photographer that understands dating and that is not gonna make you look like you're at Glamazon or Barber, whatever those glamour shots, or Barbizon is what I was thinking. So you wanna look like it's not super staged, but you also wanna have that great clarity, great lighting, an exceptional outfit, nice grooming. All of that is really, really important. You think you can just throw up a profile and just choose any photos. Usually the reason you're not getting the matches that you want is because your photos are not competitive. So you wanna think, if I'm comparing myself to all the other guys on this dating app, how do my photos measure up? Because that's gonna determine your market value, and you wanna make sure that she sees you as a competitor. Put in the work. You can't just wait for a beautiful woman to come and like you and start a conversation with you and then ask you out. That's like expecting a beautiful woman to knock on your door, ask you if you're single, and then ask to be your girlfriend. It doesn't happen. Women are not the hunters. In fact, usually if a girl is the hunter and does hit on you first, chances are you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with her, I'm not interested. So that means you have to be the one to put in the work. You have to be the hunter. Don't just sit back and wait for matches to roll in, especially on Hinge. The beauty of Hinge that makes it one of the most powerful dating apps out there is that you can message without matching, and that is exactly what you should be doing. Make sure that you're maxing out your matches every single day. I do recommend paying for the upgrade on Hinge, and then Bumble is also worthwhile because it gives you more chances to connect with people. It also helps you see the more competitive profiles, so you're getting in front of women that are more quality, higher value women or whatever. But you wanna make sure that you're putting in the work and you're not just sitting back and whining because you didn't get the matches that you wanted. You gotta go be the hunter. It's just like in real life, if you were gonna approach women in person, they're not gonna come up to you. They might make eyes at you and smile, but they're not doing the work. That's just not what women do. You gotta go out and get the woman of your dreams. That means you have to message. I recommend 10 women a day on different dating apps so that you're really putting yourself out there enough that you can attract the women that you're excited about. So make sure that you're not just sitting back waiting for somebody to like you, because chances are you'll never get anywhere. So far, you've seen some tips on how to improve your Hinge profile so you get more matches with the women you're really excited about. But is Hinge the only app that you should be using, or the only way you should be putting yourself out there to meet women? Stay tuned and I will answer that question. But first, if this video is helping, make sure to like it, subscribe to my channel, and most importantly, if you're in a dating conundrum, leave a comment in the comments below. I want to hear about how this is working for you or what issues are coming up for you. Upgrade your Hinge account. As much as I hate to say it, these apps are made for profit, which means they're going to manipulate your results, and if you're not paying them, you're just not seeing the most competitive women. So I do recommend paying for the upgrade on Hinge, also on Bumble, and sometimes on other apps too, although I wouldn't recommend paying for things like eHarmony or Match.com. But Hinge in particular is definitely worth the upgrade. You're gonna get in front of more women. You're gonna get in front of the more attractive women, the more interesting women, the women whose market value is higher on the app, because those women get more right swipes than others. So I do recommend doing the upgrade. Don't rely solely on Hinge. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket, especially nowadays when you can get shadow banned and not even realize that your messages aren't going through. What I recommend in order to make sure that you're successful is to be on at least 5 different dating apps and to have an in-person strategy so that you're able to meet women in person as well. But for the 5 different dating apps, I recommend it changes a bit depending on your location and your age. But in general, I would say number 1, the most popular, most effective dating app right now is Hinge, because you can message without matching, which gives you more control. I also recommend Bumble, where you're going to find the highest quality women, although it can be a little bit harder to get messages because women have to initiate first. In certain tech forward, early adopting cities, I would recommend Coffee Meets Bagel. Probably not so much in rural areas. I also would recommend in the cities, I would recommend Facebook dating. It's not available everywhere, but in the cities I would recommend it. The League, some people really like that app. I would recommend specific niche sites. So if you have a particular religion, like you're Jewish, I would recommend JSwipe, or there's another Jewish focused app. And then there's also like Christian and Catholic specific apps. So you could do a religious app. There's an app called Dill Mill, which is great for the Indian community. I would recommend being on 5 different ones and really focusing on, you know, having those core: Hinge, Bumble, maybe Facebook dating. Tinder actually is a good one. There's a lot of users on there. But then having like 1 or 2 niche sites. So it could be specific to your religion, could be specific to like even how you eat. There's vegetarian dating apps, there's fitness dating apps, and you really want to diversify your outreach, because you never know if you're shadow banned, if there's a technical glitch. You just don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Kick ass with mega dating. Do you feel like having 5 apps is overload? Well, it's totally not if you're mega dating, which, if you're not familiar with mega dating is the process of dating multiple people at the same time in order to increase your confidence and diversify your energy so you don't get one-nitis and you're super laser focused on one woman and then blow it all up. It also has a lot of benefits. It can help you to feel more confident. It can help you to not get upset when one woman rejects you because you have other women. It allows you to compare and contrast the women that you're dating so that you make sure that you don't settle for the wrong one and you don't wonder down the line if the grass is greener somewhere else. It helps you to choose the right person because you're able to see the good and the bad in each of these people that you're dating and really choose the person who makes you feel the best. There's a ton of benefits to mega dating, and it will certainly help to improve your outcomes because it will diversify your energy so that you're not laser focused on just one woman. Another tip is you don't want to rely solely on online dating or dating apps. The results are kind of skewed to benefit women more than men. It can be a lot harder for men. Does this mean that you shouldn't use them? No, it's the most efficient way to meet people. But if you can get in front of more people in person, I do recommend doing that as well. In fact, if you can join a class that meets regularly or a group of some kind that meets regularly where you can see the people over and over again, you're going to be able to build connections over time that also help you to meet women that trust you, that open up to you, that you can date. So make sure not to just use dating apps alone. Seek a little help. We can all use a little help here and there from time to time, especially when it comes to selling ourselves, which is what you're doing when you create a Hinge profile. You're literally selling the trailer to your own movie. You want the girls who look at your profile to say, I want to go on a date with that guy. But that can be really stressful because sometimes it's hard for us to talk about ourselves or to sell ourselves to other people. Sometimes it's really hard to know what photos other people are going to find attractive. I find that all the photos I hate are usually the ones that people like the best. And I really can't tell what's most attractive and what's not. That's why having outside perspectives can be really helpful. And not just any outside perspectives. You want to get an outside perspective from somebody who is an expert in the field or somebody who has what you want. You never want to get advice from somebody who is sad and miserable, who does not have what you're looking for. You really want to talk to either a professional or somebody who's got what you want. So if you need some additional help with your Hinge profile or dating in general, book a new client session with myself or a member of my team over at emlovz.com/book. In our new client introduction session, we'll discuss your dating goals, the obstacles that are holding you back, and explain a little bit more about how we may be able to help with our coaching and matchmaking programs. And that's a wrap for this video. If this was helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel. Follow us on social media and leave a comment in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.